What's up, people? Today I'm talking about, are you prepared for a recession? What is a recession? Recession is when people are let go from their jobs, when their jobs are not hiring anymore, when the economy just take a downward position. Stock market, everything, your 401k, everything goes down. The last time this happened was in 2007. 2007, when the economy went down, there was a lot of people lost their homes went into foreclosures, a lot of people lost their jobs. And the thing is, I was reading an article and they were saying this might happen in 2020. It might not happen, but they were just saying it could happen. And I was listening to this podcast, The Rise and Grind, that I always listen to and I follow. And the guy was also talking about, hey, 2020, 2021, there could be a recession. So due to the fact that I hear this and it was a coincidence that it came up, it just sparked in my mind to just ask people, are you prepared for a recession? Recessions, you can be working overtime, you could get to full time, then you could be working full time, and they might say get a part time, and they do let people go. 2007, I was working at this company for about 5 years around that time. I'm not sure the dates or whatever. But anyway, long story short, on a Monday, 71 or 72 people, 60 something people came in and they let them go. Just like that on a Monday. These people think they're coming in and work is all good. They let them go. Give them a service package, say your service no longer needed, has security them, escort them out the building. Why? Because the numbers wasn't adding up. When people lose jobs, people cut back on buying stuff. It don't matter. It don't matter where it is, people cut back because that's certain things are not priority. If people aren't paying their mortgage and not paying their rent, they darn sure not going to be spending money on other things if they can't even do that because a lot of people lose their jobs. So I'm just coming here to tell people or ask, are you prepared for a recession? If you are not, the things to do, while the good news is there is no recession right now. Everything is expensive. Houses that used to be $70,000 at the time of the recession are now almost $300,000 and they are selling fast. So I come on here to tell people we are not in a recession right now. 2018 July, you're not in a recession. But when you're not in recession, it's time to prepare for a recession. Recessions are not like a hurricane. They don't say, hey, Hurricane Troy is going to be here Saturday. It doesn't give you a week in advance to prepare to go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Publix, Walmart to prepare for a hurricane. Recessions are like tornadoes. They happen just like this. Rich people take their money out. They know what time it is. Your money start dropping. People start getting fired. People start getting a lot of people start asking for unemployment. But then the government going through their own little things. So instead of 9 months unemployment, you might get 6 months of unemployment. And this it just trickles down from there. So it's a scary thing to be in, especially if you don't have your money saved. So right now, like I said, you're not in a recession, but it's the best time to prepare for a recession. What do I mean? If you have a phone payment, I know these phones are expensive and people buy them on credit. People don't usually pay them off right. Pay that thing off. Focus. If you get a little bonus from work, you get some overtime from work, pay that phone off. The least bills you have, the better for if the recession does come around. You got two incomes, be prepared. You might have one. Somebody might get let go. Somebody hours might get cut. So pay off that cell phone. If you can, focus, pay off those car payments. If you have car payments, pay them off. Whatever debt you have, try your best to pay them off. The least expenses you have around that time, this is how you could survive. Now that you done paid these debt off, the best thing to do now, save some money. Emergency money. Just in case anything happen, you get fired, you get laid off, you got some money that you could survive until you find another job. And at that time, jobs are very hard to find. Why? Because people who have associate's degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, any certification, they lost their jobs too. It's not just people who are not educated on, credentials and bachelor's degrees and stuff like that. Everybody lose their job. So now employers who are hiring, they're taking the best of the best. They're taking people who are overqualified for these jobs. So the best thing for you to do is be prepared, especially if you're not one of these people who have a master's, a bachelor's, and associates, and so on and so on. Because if I was an employer And I might say, hey man, you overqualified. They might be just like, hey, I don't care if I'm overqualified. I need to feed my family. I don't care if you're paying $13 an hour. I work hard just like the other guys who work hard. But at the same time, I can also bring something else to the table. I understand computers. I understand tech. I understand whatever it is. They're bringing more. So as an employer, you're getting more for your money instead of a person like me who just picking up boxes and moving boxes. You could hire somebody who could pick up and move boxes, and at the same time, they could fix any tech that goes wrong with your system. You get what I'm saying? So you just want to be prepared because there's a lot of people that employers can choose from. So be prepared. Save some money. Anything can happen. Recessions are not nice. You might have to, it's better to prepare. You stay ready. You never have to get ready. Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. That's why I always tell my son. I probably tell it to him too much and he's tired of hearing it. But this is what I live by. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. I was the last one hired at my job in the warehouse. If a recession comes, they're going to say, hey, Troy, you're one of the best workers we had. You're a good guy. You're always on time, but we're going to have to let you go. You think I'm going to be in there and say, hey, man, I do this, I did this, you guys done it. I'm going to say, hey, man, thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate it. Let me know if anything ever come back up. It is what it is. 'Cause I already prepared for these things. It's not being paranoid, it's preparing. I don't like having my family hands or my family relying on somebody else. I earned the money. Now it's time for me to do the smart thing with the money except for keep spending money to prepare for things like this. When you have emergency funds and stuff like this, you don't have to deal with certain things. You don't have to deal with people's attitude and whatever. Anyway, let me stay on recession. So the good thing about recession is two people. Rich people get richer in a recession. Why you say that, Troy? Because a lot of people lose their homes. So let's say somebody now buys a home for $280,000 and then they're going to get foreclosed. They're going to lose their home. Rich people or people who've been smart with their money, guess what they're going to do? When that same home is worth somebody bought for $280,000 is now worth $70,000, you know who buys it? The person who was smart with their money, the person who prepared for a recession, the person who's begging, man, I can't wait for a recession to come. Why? Because I'm going to buy this home for $70,000, and when the market goes up, like it always does, it's going to take a couple of years. At first, I'm going to rent it out, and while I'm renting it out, tenant's going to be paying for that. The market's going to go up, and I'm going to sell this property for $200,000. I'm going to put $130,000 in my pocket. This is how people who understand money work. And now, when I was younger, I didn't take advantage of that. My mom had houses next to her for about $40,000, $50,000. And because I was probably 21 at the time, listening to people, oh, Troy, it's not a good time to buy houses. The market is down. You don't want to buy no property. You're going to get, they're telling me that because they bought their property at, I don't know, let's just say, for example, $200,000. Now that same property is worth $40,000 and $50,000. So they thinking they're looking out for me, but they just don't understand money. Instead of saying, Troy, it's the best time to buy that house because in 5 more years, the market's going to go back up, and man, you're going to buy that thing for 40 or 50 grand. You're going to sell that thing for $200,000, but they don't understand money. People just follow other people. So because somebody else bought a house at $200,000, everybody is buying houses at $200,000. Oh, everybody say buy it now, buy it now. Everybody's comfortable. The banks they don't have the money. The banks are just loaning them these loans, giving them these loans. So when stuff hit the fan, and then the bank's like, hey, we need that money. They got, instead of having a fixed rate that they pay $1,000 a month for months, forever for the term of the loan, they'll get something that they pay $1,000 for the first 3 years, and then the bank at any time they want, they could raise up the monthly mortgage. So you could be paying $1,000 for 3 years, and then next thing you know, you're paying $2,500, knowing they can't afford it, but they signed up for it anyway. Why? Because they saw everybody else doing it. So now the rich people, or people who are good with their finances, they buy when everybody else is not buying. That's where I want to be. I'm not going to let this happen like last time. A recession will come. These same homes that's $300,000 will be worth $60,000. Me and my friends, we want to be the ones purchasing at least one. At least one. I ain't rich. At least if I could get one. get a loan somehow, some way through a bank, keep my credit good, keep my savings good, and get that loan for $60,000. And then rent it out. 4 or 5 years later, that same home, that $60,000 will be worth $200,000. And everybody can do it. So I'm telling you this. Hopefully that's my plan. And hopefully it work out like that. To say there's two people in the recession. People who are going to take advantage of it and people who are going to get taken advantage of. But it's all on the decision you make right now as you hear this. The decision you make today to prepare for it first, and then to say, I'm going to put myself in a position where I could take advantage of it. Or you could just hear this and say, well, recession might not come. I deal with it when it come. And then when people who deal with it when it come, yeah, you're going to lose a lot. I know a lot of people during the recession, their credit got messed up. And now it's just getting fixed. And now because it's just getting fixed, they're going to be one of them people going right back into debt. Man, let me buy a brand new car. Bum. Let me do this. Bum. Let me do this. Let me get more credit. Let me keep spending on my credit cards. Until a while, you right back in the same boat you was in. And then it mess up your credit. Then you got to reset in another 7 years. So when it's time to take advantage of the recession, you can't. Because your credit's already messed up and nobody ain't going to trust you enough to give you a loan. So save money, cut back on your expenses. The average recession is like 22 months, 16 to 22 months, maybe 2 years. Cut back, save money, just prepare. That's the best thing you could do. Do what my shirt say. I'm just act broke right now. Hey, man, it ain't about looking cool for people. It ain't about trying to be something you're not. Man, it's okay. I ain't trying to impress nobody. It's better to have real wealth than to look like you have wealth and you have nothing. Especially if you have kids, nieces, nephews. I'm so proud of my little sister. She's taking the advice that I give her. She's 16, 17 years old. She's working at Burger King. She's not spending her money. She saved a certain amount that she never had before. And just to see the look on her face is just like, I'm proud of her. And the same thing will happen for my other little sister and my son and my daughter. Like, I'm going to be there to help them. I bought my first house at 23. I hope they get theirs at 21. And I'm going to be there to help them financially, give them good advice. Tell them don't be like the average person. The average person does not understand money. So when a recession comes, all they do is their back is against the wall and then they react. Smart people prepare for these things. Take advantage. Lamborghini sell for $120,000. If a person have that kind of money to buy that car, you know what they do? They wait till recession comes and that same car is worth $60,000 because a lot of people are not buying it. They buy it for $60,000. They get to drive it up and down for about 3 to 4 years, and then they could resell it. Probably get back the same money. And people who know the same money that they bought it, and people who know car depreciate fast in value. But if you buying it at a great deal, $60,000, and when the economy goes back up, you could sell it for $60,000, and you already drove it up and down. Now the average person is more comfortable spending money. Right now, July 2018, people are comfortable spending money. They are comfortable buying houses. That's why when a house goes on the market, it sells that fast. People are comfortable buying cars. That's why now you could just go into a dealership, no matter on your credit. It needs to be like a 650 or whatever to get a home loan. I'm talking about. But now just go like that. Anyway, people, prepare for the recession. Share. If you like it, leave a comment. At the end of the day, we can all do it. Later.